Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, Home Affairs Deputy Minister Lucia Witbooi revealed this week that 465 foreign inmates are currently incarcerated in the country. She shared this information during a special session of the National Assembly on Monday while presenting her motivation for the ratification of the draft SADC protocol on the interstate transfer of sentenced offenders. Witbooi said that of the 465 foreign inmates, 459 are from the SADC region, while 15 are from countries beyond the region. At the same time, 69 Namibian citizens are serving sentences in various countries across the SADC region. Rehabilitation and societal reintegration, the main objective of the draft SADC protocol on the interstate transfer of sentenced offenders is to allow convicted individuals to serve their sentences in their home countries. The protocol was approved by the SADC summit and signed in August 2019. In light of this, Witbooi submitted to Parliament that inmates serving sentences in foreign countries face challenges with rehabilitation and societal reintegration. Studies have consistently found that inmates who maintain close contact with their family members while incarcerated have better post-release outcomes and lower reoffending rates, she stated. She also noted that transferring foreign inmates to their home countries would help alleviate overcrowding in prisons. 3 months ago, Namibian Police Chief Joseph Shikongo raised concerns about overcrowding in police cells across the country. He criticized the practice of officers arresting individuals for Schedule 1 offenses on Thursdays, knowing that Friday is the only court day, which forces detainees to spend the entire weekend in custody, further exacerbating overcrowding. Shikongo acknowledged that many police holding cells are severely overcrowded. The Vanaheda police cells, for instance, have housed over 200 inmates at a time. In Katima Mulilo, cells designed for 80 inmates have held up to 300. Similarly, in the Kavango East region, police holding cells with a capacity of just 260 are currently accommodating more than 394 inmates across 4 police stations. Getting into our next story, Finance Minister Ipumbu Shimi has proposed amendments to the pension fund rules for parliamentarians and other office bearers, introducing a requirement for pensioners to provide proof of existence to ensure payments are made to the rightful recipients. Speaking at a recent special session at the National Assembly, Shimi recommended adding a new provision, Rule 17A, which would mandate pensioners to submit an annual certificate of existence to verify they are still alive and prevent fraudulent claims. I rise to submit a request for approval to amend the rules of our pension fund, the Members of Parliament and other office bearers pension fund. In terms of Rule 55 of the fund's rules, read together with Section 5 of the Members of Parliament and Other Office Bearers Pension Fund Act No. 20 of 1999. An amendment must be tabled in and approved by the National Assembly, he said. Shimi also proposed revisions to the reserve account, introducing Rule 14.5, 14.6, and 14.7 under Rule 14, which would establish a data reserve account, a processing error reserve account, and a risk reserve account as recommended by the fund's actuary. Another key amendment seeks to replace Rule 8.1, which currently gives the Board of Trustees discretion over the number of meetings held annually. The revised rule would mandate a minimum of 4 trustee meetings per calendar year, aligning with good governance principles. Further amendments focus on provisions related to the retirement date to align with an earlier approved rule amendment on minimum pension guarantees. Changes include updates to Rule Number 1, definitions of retirement date and ill health retirement date, as well as Rule 33 and 34. The National Assembly is therefore requested to approve Rule Amendment Number 5 as per Rule 55 of the Pension Fund Rules and Section 5 of the Members of Parliament and Other Office Bearers Pension Fund Act Number 20 of 99. Shimi added. Or Act of 99. Shimi added. Now moving on to our next story. Residents of Gobabis, Vetvlei, Gohas, Osana Village and the Roshkot Township may potentially have to forego paying lower electricity costs due to the failure of their local authorities to claim available tariff rebates. The Electricity Control Board of Namibia said that $10.4 million Namibian remains unclaimed, with CEO Robert Kahimithe expressing frustration and questioning the leadership of the affected town councils and development mentioned. Distribution licensees had between July and December to submit claims to the ECB for payment by the Ministry of Mines. Thus far, $78.7 million Namibian has been paid out to licensees for the period July to September 2024 and include Nampower $62.7 million Namibian, Erongo Red $3.7 million Namibian, the Keetmanshoop Municipality over $524 million Namibian, Nampower Distribution $1.3 million Namibian, Norit $8.7 million Namibian, and Oshakati Premier Electric $1.6 million Namibian. Additional claims received after the end of September include payments to the tune of $6.5 million Namibian to the city of Windhoek, $2.4 million Namibian to Senaret, $111 Namibian to the Hart Aboriginal Council, $30,000 Namibian to the Osire Power, and $771,845 Namibian to the Rehoboth Town Council. What could be the delay? Is it that you do not need the money, or what is your problem? You are pushing us to use the word incompetence, Kahimise said of the claims that were not submitted. Kahimise ascribed the failure to submit the claims on the part of the entities mentioned as irresponsible on the part of its executive authorities. You can read more on this story in our Namibian Sun tomorrow. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our community talk.
Get ready for the Namibia 2027 World Cup preparation campaign. Check out the Valvicias Boerland Cavaliers friendly clash live on NTV, DSTV, GoTV, and our Facebook pages, playing on the 22nd of February 2025 at the Hage Geingob Stadium. Tune in at 2:30 p.m. to catch the game at 3 p.m. No spectators allowed due to the mourning period in honor of Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nyoma.
Getting into our story of the day rather than community talk as previously advertised. Let's get into our story of the day. The office of the Prime Minister has refuted claims which suggest that President Nangolo Mbumba had influenced the decision to divert a donated consignment of rice from the People's Republic of China to the Oshikoto region where he hails from. According to the Office of the Prime Minister's Executive Director, Eben Nashandi, yesterday told Namibian Sun that the Office of the President had no involvement in the decision to identify Oshikoto region as the beneficiary of the close to 30,000 bags of rice from China. This follows complaints from members of the public who question the rationale behind Oshikoto being the sole beneficiary of the donation, arguing that there are regions in the country which are regarded as to be severely affected by poverty as opposed to the Oshikoto region. Nashandi, however, explained that the decision to distribute the donated rice to Oshikoto was made in line with relevant statistics, especially on the high number cases of malnutrition in that region. He went on to explain that when donations came in a limited form, it is best to identify a certain area, and once donated, one can measure the impact as opposed to dividing the food amongst all regions, which is difficult to monitor. My point is really to say that the distribution of food is not influenced by the origin of the head of state. That is not correct. It is influenced by the development of issues of food security and malnutrition dynamics as we receive them, Nashandi explained. Just because the president comes from there, must people not benefit? They are just like all other people, all other Namibians. They need the services of government. Oshikoto was considered because the SMART survey that was recently concluded points out that there are quite several high levels of malnutrition that are eminent in the areas of Oshikoto. I would want also you to appreciate that all other food assistance that came in, unfortunately, because of the size of the donation, they are never enough for you to give to the whole country at once. That's why you need to identify pockets where you identify so that you could see whether you could monitor the impact. Otherwise, you end up getting the donation, you give 2 there, you give 1 there, you give half there. Nashandi also revealed that since Bumba announced the state of emergency on the drought situation last year, an appeal was made to the international community, of which countries such as Qatar donated food items and donated to various communities, especially those reported with high cases of malnutrition. That concludes our story of the day. On the other side of the break, we get into your economic news.
Slow internet should be a headache of the past, yet many Namibians have connections that just aren't fast. We have a solution that might set you free. It's called Mobile LTE, and it comes with real speed. You'll enjoy up to 50 megabytes per second from just $300 Namibian a month and free internet browsing after midnight till 6. When it comes to staying connected, this is it. Visit Paratus.Africa/Namibia or our branches nationwide and experience the thrill of better internet with Paratus by your side.
Always prepared, Paratus.
Getting into our economic news, the World Economic Forum identifies poverty and inequality as Namibia's most pressing risk for 2025. The WEF Global Risk Report, based on a survey of over 11,000 respondents, highlights economic struggles, resource shortages, and a lack of skilled labor as key concerns for the country. Risk 1 indicates the most frequently selected risk in each economy. Tied risks are presented in alphabetical order, with the tie indicated by numbering, the report read. The survey asked respondents to select the 5 biggest risks likely to impact their country within the next 2 years from a list of 34 global threats in Namibia. The report further says that unemployment or lack of economic opportunity ranks in second place. Water supply shortages emerge as the 3rd biggest concern, while food supply shortages ranked 4th. Lastly, a labor and talent shortage was identified as the 5th most pressing issue, according to the economist at Cyrus Capital, Olivia Diggle. Water scarcity, ranked 3rd in Namibia, is not a new issue. The country suffered severe drought conditions in 2024, leading to the 2nd worst year for crop farming in recent history, surpassed only by 2019. Unemployment is Namibia's 2nd biggest risk, and recent data has only reinforced these concerns. Diggle said that the 2023 labor force survey revealed that broad unemployment has increased to an alarming 54.8%, indicating a worsening economic landscape. Let's now take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.37, against the euro at 19.37, against the US dollar at 18.56. $2 Namibian and 55 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, Platinum and copper went down, while gold and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 1.13%, going for $76.87 per barrel. On the other side of the break in our international news, Netherlands to return stolen Benin bronzes to Nigeria. We expand on this after the break.
Get ready for the Namibia 2027 World Cup preparation campaign. Check out the Valvicias Boerland Cavaliers friendly clash live on NTV, DSTV, GoTV and our Facebook pages, playing on the 22nd of February 2025 at the Hage Geingob Stadium. Tune in at 2:30 p.m. to catch the game at 3 p.m. No spectators allowed due to the mourning period in honor of Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nyoma.
Slow internet should be a headache of the past, yet many Namibians have connections that just aren't fast. We have a solution that might set you free. It's called Mobile LTE, and it comes with real speed. You'll enjoy up to 50 megabytes per second from just $300 Namibian a month and free internet browsing after midnight till 6. When it comes to staying connected, this is it. Visit Paratus.Africa/Namibia or our branches nationwide and experience the thrill of better internet with Paratus by your side.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Getting into our international news, the Netherlands says it will return over 100 Benin bronzes that British troops looted from Nigeria in the late 19th century and which ended up in a Dutch museum. Thousands of these culturally significant sculptures and carvings were stolen during the violent destruction of Benin City in modern-day Nigeria's Edo State in 1897. The treasures were sold, some to private collectors and others to museums like the Wereld Museum in the Netherlands, which has displayed these artifacts for decades. The return of the 113 artifacts is the largest repatriation of Benin antiquities, said Olugubile Holloway, Director General of Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments. Despite the name, not all the statues are made of bronze. They include figurines, tusk sculptures of Benin's rulers, and an ivory mask. They were made between the 15th and the 19th centuries. A transfer of agreement is due to be signed on Wednesday. Holloway added that he hoped this would set a good example for other countries. The sculptures, prized for their beauty and technical artistry, are of spiritual and historical significance for the people from the part of Nigeria. Their theft remains a point of pain for the descendants of those from the ancient Benin Kingdom. That concludes our international news. After the break, we get into your weather predictions. Getting into our weather predictions, starting off with the capital city, which can expect some sunny weather with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect a minimum of 22 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions, while Katima Mulilo can expect some showers with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Rundu can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius, while Kobabes can also expect a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius. Handys Bay can expect a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions, while Walvis Bay can expect a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. Rehoboth can also enjoy some sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. Ironsvlei can expect some rain with a minimum of 21 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. Keetmanshoop can also expect some rain with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius, while Lüderitz can enjoy some sunny weather with a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. We're going to take a look at the world of sports, courtesy of Sports Wrap.
Well, good day, viewers. On today's Sunset News brought to you by Sports Wrap. In our top stories, Bank Windhoek sponsor 460,000 Namibian dollars for volleyball. Partnering in volleyball for over 10 years, Bank Windhoek announced a sponsorship of 460,000 Namibian dollars to the Namibian Volleyball Federation. The announcement took place earlier today in Windhoek to assist the Namibian Volleyball Federation in furthering the sports growth in Namibia. Vice President of the Namibian Volleyball Federation, Lina Mateus, has had this to say.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lina Matthews, the Vice President of Namibia Volleyball. I'm accompanied by Albert Cavare, our Director of the League. We are here at Bank Windhoek to receive our yearly sponsorship, and it is indeed a happy moment because what this sponsor meant to us, it really gave us a grassroots to develop. And in volleyball, without development, we will not have national team that we can send out to represent Namibia. So this sponsorship, it means a lot to us because it's mainly also developing the youth and giving the opportunity to a Namibian child to participate in volleyball.
That was the Vice President Lina Matthews. Apologies for the pronunciation there. Well, Flame Special One Nangolo, one of the most anticipated boxing talents in Namibia, is set to face the Ghanaian boxer Felix Ajoma for the vacant WBO African Super Featherweight title. The highly anticipated showdown will take place on March 29 in Windhoek, Namibia. Well, Felix Ajoma, a seasoned fighter with an impressive record of 22 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, will be a formidable opponent for Nangolo with his wealth of experience. Ajoma aims to prove himself in this major fight, so we are all very excited for this one. Well, that's all that we do have for you from the sports team. It is goodbye.
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first from the Champions League. Interesting games that was played. Most of the teams playing at home struggled to go through to the last 16, and many of them fell out, of course. And it is one of them, AC Milan. They're out of the tournament. They drew against Feyenoord at home 1-1, but it was Feyenoord that went through on aggregation score. That was by 2-1. So AC Milan out of the last 16. Also, it was Club Brugge that beat Atalanta. That was a home game for Atalanta, and that game Club Brugge won by 3-1. That was for a great aggregate of 5-2. Club Brugge through to the last 16. Some of the bigger clubs also had it difficult. It was Bayern Munich that had to work very hard, and with a late goal at home, they had a 1-1 draw against Celtic, and that see them through to the last 16. It was firstly Nicolas Kuhn that scored in the 63rd minute for Celtic. That was for them to lead 1-0. But then it was Alphonso Davies that scored in the 94th minute for Bayern Munich for them to draw the game, and with an aggregate score of 3-2 through to the last 16. Also, Benfica had to work hard. They played at home against Monaco, and in the end it was a 3-3 draw, a very exciting game, and it's Benfica through on an aggregate of 4-3, also through to the last 16. On to rugby news, the Six Nations rugby this coming weekend, one of the big games, England hosting Scotland. Besides that it is a Six Nations game, they're also playing for the Calcutta Cup. They've been playing for that for a very long time. And team news from England is that Lock Ollie Chesham, he's back in the starting 15, and he replaces George Martin that will drop down to the bench. So that's the only change in the run on 15 for England. That means that number 10 and 15 will stay the same as the previous game. It was Marcus Smith that mostly played a fly-off this season. He's remained at 15 at fullback, and it is Finn Smith that will be the fly-off. He had a man of the match performance the previous game for England. Other games in the Six Nations this coming weekend, see Wales that will host Ireland, and then also on Sunday it's Italy that will host France. To close off today's international sports news, it is tennis news. Some big names falling in the Qatar Open. The biggest name, Novak Djokovic. He's number 3 seed. He's out of the tournament. He lost to Matteo Berrettini by 7-6 and 6-2. And then also it's Stefanos Tsitsipas, number 6 seed, also out of the tournament, losing to Hamed Medvedovic in 3 very close sets. And 2 higher seed players that's through to the next round. Number 5 seed Andrei Rublev. He's safely through, beating Alex Rublev. And then number 4 seed Daniil Medvedev beating his countryman, that is Karen Khachanov, and that was 4-6, 7-5 and 6-3. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
That was Brian Munango and Ari Hohard with the sports news. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Don't forget that Sunset News screens every Monday to Thursday on our DSTV channel 285, our GoTV channel 25, and on our website, oneabdu.com at 7:30 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.